gospel by today? John. So again, you know, if it's from John, I'm going to get excited because John is the master at drawing, painting a picture with words to teach us the gospel. And you have to look last week and then next week too to see much of the context. But remember last week? Last week we were looking at the Good Shepherd. And all the readings had to do with the shepherd. Jesus is the Good Shepherd. And now today you're going to hear that tie-in really with what? There was lots of green grass there, which is almost impossible, but there was for 5,000 men to what? To recline. Reclining is the position you take when you're having a banquet. So we find that Jesus leads them to this land of plenty. And I'd like to walk through some of these signs that John used today, because this is the only one of the miracles that John shares in common with the other evangelists. To talk about Jesus feeding the multitude with the 5 loaves and 2 fish. And so we want to look at that. What signs did you notice? First of all, you have the parallels in terms of where, parentheses, in terms of what is the message today. He went up on the mountain. He left the sea. That's one of your parentheses. He went up on the mountain. How does it end? He went up on the mountain again. When in the world did he leave it? It's like, in other words, those are all phrases to tell you, pay attention to what's in between here. And so we think about Jesus. Now he's feeding the multitude, so we need to look at why. What's happening? First of all, going up on the mountain is a reminder of what? You go up the mountain to encounter God. You go up on the mountain to teach. Who went up on the mountain? Moses. Always got to identify with Moses. Moses is the prophet as far as the people go. And so Jesus here identifies with Moses how? Moses gave them the 10 Commandments and the 5 books, which for some Jews today is still the only real part of the Bible, the first 5 books. Jesus goes up on the same mountain at the same time right now, and he's going to give them the Beatitudes. That's his commandments, if you will. So Jesus is the lawgiver, the teacher, following in the way of Moses. Not only in that, in terms of Moses, what do we find? When the people were in the desert for 40 years, they were fed, they were hungry, they cried out. No, we need food. God gave them food, manna. And as you look at the manna, you've got to pay attention to how much is there. Every day they gathered 1 omer, which was enough for 1 person, and how much was left over? No one had too much, no one had too little. Nothing left over. Even when they gathered on Friday for Saturday for the Sabbath, again, there was nothing left over. Then we find Elisha. Elisha comes along and he takes 5 barley loaves, multiplies it, God's grace, and it says, and there was some left over. In other words, it was not possible to feed these 100 people with these 5 barley loaves, but still there was left over. Now look at Jesus. What does he do? He capped that. Now we have 5 barley loaves, and how much is left over? 12 wicker baskets full. And there was so much for 5,000 people left over. In other words, certainly he is the prophet, the one who is to come, more than satisfies the hunger of the people. He more than satisfies our hunger when we come to him. So look at the 5. The 5 barley loaves, which is important there, is the law and example of Elijah, and 2 fish. Okay, why 2 fish? What is the fish for? What is it a sign of at this time in Christian history already? It's a sign of church. Yeah, I think this is Christ, but it's the sign of the church. And so we find the old church and the new church, the Old Testament and the New Testament. We're looking at that develop here. And so we find the Exodus. Now the 2 together, you take the 5 and the 2, because he added it for us, is what? 7 again. Over and over and over again. You see the 7, because this is about the covenant. As a matter of fact, next week we'll see John chapter 6, where we will hear again, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you will not have life in you. It is about the covenant. John's gospel and the book of Revelation are all about the wedding feast of the Lamb, about the covenant that we have with God. So we have 7 here. And how else do we find that satisfied or affirmed? What were the words there? He took the bread, blessed, broke, and gave. Those 3 words are the same word over and over at the Last Supper and at the Emmaus. 2 God's disciples on the road to Emmaus. It's a sign in the scriptures that this is about the Eucharist, which is between those 2 events. And so it is about the covenant today as we hear Christ fulfilling all that Moses did, all that the prophets did, and going way beyond that. Now, what else do you hear? To let you know that it is Old Covenant, New Covenant. You know, the scriptures are good about, you remember just 2 weeks ago, this young girl was healed. How old was she? 12. She's not quite maturity yet. The woman had hemorrhage for 12 years. Again, the same thing. God wants the fullness of life. How old is this young man who's the only one out of 5,000 people that had any food with him? Can you imagine? I mean, people are used to traveling all the time with having to carry a little bread. You get some of Paul's bread, it would last you. You know, he gave me a loaf of his bread. You know, that's substantial. Well, they would have that with them. But the gospel wants us to know it's a young man, not 12, not mature, but a child. He who welcomes a child welcomes me. The child is new. You do not put new wine into old skin. You put new wine into new skin. So it is about the new covenant is arriving in Christ. Again, this gospel today has so many signs, if you will, on John's part, telling us about Christ. It's also telling us about the power of Christ. And can you imagine what that encounter had to be like with you? You're talking about 5,000 people, 200 days wages. In other words, there's a lot more numbers in here than normal, which is simply like, wow, it's unbelievable, impossible. Eye has not seen nor ear heard what God is in store for those who follow him. No one has given up father, mother, brother, sister without receiving 100 times as much. But Jesus is the one who more than fulfills the desire of the heart, more than fulfills our needs, more than fulfills all that we can imagine for a fullness of joy and a fullness of life. And I would encourage you get a chance sometime to look over again chapter 6. Next week we'll hear the rest of chapter 6, but this part in terms of building up to the great dialogue about the Eucharist in John. Okay?